Hey guys, my name is Josh, and today we are going to be making a logo, and I feel really bad because I haven't made a Photoshop tutorial in a long time, so I'm going to try and get you guys with a few more recently, because I don't know, I'm assuming most of you really like it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So right here we're going to make, I'm not going to do the exact same thing that you see right before you. Like, I'm not going to add the animal because I've already shown you how to do that. And if you don't know how, link in the description. But what I'm going to show you is how to basically make this little circle here. I've already shown you how to do a pattern, but I'll still do it. As you can see there's two patterns. I don't know if it comes up on this recording. I'm going to show you how to make this glowing line that circulates the circle. And I'll do a couple patterns in the background. I don't know. I'll just follow along and hopefully you guys learn something. Yeah. So let's go to Photoshop and let's make a new file. 300 by 200 pixels, and resolution doesn't matter. Well, shouldn't be. It's just make a 72. I don't know if there's a difference. RGB, red, green, blue. I guess 8-bit. 8-bit is pretty much preferred, and background color doesn't matter, and you can name it if you want, which I will, and then I'll do YouTube logo. Alrighty then, so I am going to be making the background black for now, and I always like to start out with black no matter what color I'm changing it to, because it's just the easiest to see everything, and I don't really. It's just the best. So what you want to do? Let's start off with the circle. So let's make the circle. You want to get the elliptical marquee tool right above it, or right underneath the selection tool, and make a circle and make it pretty the best you can to make it a perfect circle. And let's make a new layer, and then let's change the color and make it let's make it red. We're gonna follow this. It doesn't matter what color red right now. We're gonna change it later anyways. So let's make it okay. And then, well, you can make it black too, but I am going to make it red for now. Fill and make sure the settings shouldn't be a difference anyways, and click OK. So that should be good. Now I'll show you how to center anything. You want to make sure you have this layer selected. Press Control A or Command A, I would assume, on Mac. And what you want to do is click on the selection tool, click this that's in between these three, and this in between these three. And that will automatically center your whatever you selected, or whatever layer you're on. And now let's make a rectangle. Let's put a circle on top, and let's give it a stroke. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it looks pretty good. Let's give it a 7 stroke. That looks pretty good. Oh, sorry, don't cancel that. Go back to effects. Let's give it a drop shadow, just a small. Let's give it fully opaque, and let's bring the distance just out a little bit so it gives it a little shadow right there, and click OK. And now, oh, I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm so sorry. You want to go back to your effects, and let's give it a small outer glow of, let's say, a gray, and make the spread about, let's say, between 15 and 20, and size about between also 15 and 20. Oh crap, 15 and 20. I'm gonna go with 20. Let's give it a bevel and emboss, but you want to bring this down to about 50% depth, and let's change it from black to a dark red. Okay. And then let's make this a little bit more bigger in size. And that looks pretty good. And then let's give it a Satan, and let's make this. You can either do a light red, or it doesn't really change that much, I guess. I would say you shit up black if you like that. Do a gray, but I'm gonna go with a dark red. You can adjust the opacity to whatever you like. Let's keep the size around 20, 25, and you can adjust the distance to however you like it. I like to put it around 10. So what you want to do is, let's make the elliptical again. Let's make an oval shape, and let's change the color to, I like to do a light teal, like a very light teal, so it's like basically white, but with a little bit blue in it. Right click, always forget, make a new layer, right click, fill, okay. And let's adjust this a bit. So press Control T or Command T. You can give a bevel and emboss, and you want to go down up and make it a light red. But in order for it to look good, like, you have to make it the exact same color as the background. And I personally don't really like it. I mean, you can kind of do that, which looks actually okay if you put it around 60. And drop shadow not needed, obviously. You can give it a small outer glow of blue if you would want it, which I think I'm go blue. And let's just make it just so it's like a stroke kind of. Make it about 4, and let's make the opacity full. So there you go. It gives a nice little circle around it, and it looks pretty good. So okay. Now let's do the rectangle. So what you want to do is go ahead and do exactly whatever you want. I'm going to give it an inner shadow, fully opaque. And let's give it another stroke. And again, bevel and emboss you can do, and you can put it down just a bit. Looks pretty good. Satan if you want it. I don't like it on rectangles that much because it's like a rectangle. Then you can go ahead. Oh, sorry. And if you don't know how to make a pattern, just look at the other video in the description. It tells you how to do it. Now let's get the little line that goes across. So what you're going to do is take your pen tool, and you want to make the line. I like to go really far out, because when you simulate pressure, which if you don't know what that is, you'll see what it is, it takes a bit for it to actually come into picture. So I'm going to go pretty far out, but you know what, you can do whatever you want. And depending on how many curves you want, for this one I'm going to do a little bit more than usual. If you ever make a mistake, just Control Z it, or undo if you want to do it the long way. So after you've made your line, you can go to your brush tool, and let's go to the top and select 5 is what I like. But you can adjust the size, like Control or undo it, sorry, after you've made this line, and adjust it to the size you want. So after you've selected 5, whatever your color is, go back to your pen tool, right click on the little line that you've made, and click stroke path. Make sure simulate pressure is on. Okay, there you go. It looks a little bit better. Delete path. So again, like I said, I didn't spend much time with it. It's not really straight or perfect. I don't know. Who cares? But as you can see here, see how I started way back here and it only came in here? This is why I like that. So what you want to do now is, let's take your magnifying glass and zoom in. Take your eraser tool, and you want to erase off the marks that you don't want. So I like to start off from the top and just erase them. So you can go like this and just simply erase the best you can the zoom if you want. Now you can see there's a line going around, and now let's add the effects to the line. So you want to double click on the effects, Let's give it a drop shadow. Make sure it's 100% opaque. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can make the size a little bit bigger, so I wouldn't suggest going too much bigger because you can barely see the shadow then. So 6 or 7 or 5, 6 or 7. I like 5 or 6. And you can go click on this arrow and do a little curve, and that will make it a deeper shadow. If you want deep shadow, if you want back to the old one, it's okay. But I like to do the curve. Click away. Then you want to give it an outer glow, and whatever color you want. I'm going to do red because that's the color I'm using. And click OK. And again, you want to do the curve to give it a nice, vibrant glow. 100% or whatever you want. I mean, I like this one. If you want it to fade off a bit, just give it 75 to 80. I like it like where I'm at right now. You can do precise, but that sucks as you can see, so don't do that. Just keep softer. So this looks pretty good. Yeah, you don't really have to mess around with the spreader size. You can if you want to go a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, but I think 4 or 5 is pretty good. You want to give it a slight bevel and emboss, and I like to do it dark, or yeah, let's go with a dark red. Not too dark where it looks black. And again, remove some of the depth. Let's go a little bit lower this time to about 40. And that looks pretty good. I don't think it needs any more. You can give it an inner glow, but that is very unnecessary unless you want a random color in there, like a light blue. But as you can see, you can't really see that much, but it gives it like a whiter look to it. Give like a there. If you see that, it's a little bit more blue. It kind of gives a little bit more color, and yeah. So let's just click OK. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is make the background, and what we're gonna do is make the fading starburst effect. So let's go ahead and take our brush. Let's check off the site of the background and make a new layer. Make sure it's on top of the background but below everything else, and make sure you select black as your main color, and let's try to center it the best we can. And then you want to go to effects, gradient overlay, style radial, and double click on the gradient and make the top black square 0 opacity, and make the bottom right color red, and make the bottom left color red. As you can see, you can start to see the effect around the circle. Click OK. You can change this a little bit more if you want to bring it back a bit, like so. Okay. And now all you have to do is click on the selection tool, Control T, make it just a little bit bigger, and then Control A, the center it. There you have it. So as you can see here, there is a fading sunburst around the circle. Again, it's not perfectly centered. I can move it over a bit since I didn't perfectly center the brush, but whatever, before I place it down. So as you can see, it's a lot better now. Like I said, I didn't go into it much, but that is the logo, and you just have to add the words and the background that you want, and that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you had a graphic-asm. I'm out.